everyone, Gary Simon of DesignCourse.com. Today I'm going to be doing another random letter logo design practice technique video. And basically, I haven't done one of these in a while, but I decided, you know what, I have some time. I'll go ahead and do another one of these. And the idea is I'm going to click on generate another random letter right here, and I'm going to think of the very first noun that begins with that letter that comes to my mind. And then the task is to design in Adobe Illustrator something that symbolizes the shape of the letter, but also the idea of the noun in some unique manner. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. D. I can't say dick. Come on. I'm such a nasty MFer. Dog. All right, so dog. That's the most likely. That's probably what almost everybody else said, but I'm a pervert. So let's go ahead and work with that somehow. So dog. All right. File new here. I'm going to put it at 850. All right, 60 by, I think 500 works well for this 1280 resolution I'm working on for recording these videos. All right, so going to get D and a lowercase d. So I got a capital D and a lowercase d. And the goal is to come up with something unique and effective and designed well that symbolizes some aspect of a dog. Okay, so I'm just going to filter through some logo or some fonts here. And the way you do is you just left click up here in the character panel and then use your keyboard down arrow key. Just something that might spark some ideas. So this is something I'm completely doing this randomly. I didn't think of this beforehand, so I'm just kind of challenging myself to see what I can come up with. It's a good practice technique for coming up with concepts quickly. All right, so the first thing I need to consider is, do I want to work with the lowercase version or the uppercase version? All right, so when I think of a dog, I don't know why. I just think of this font right here. It's just kind of silly, and although I guess it depends on the type of dog we're talking about. But sometimes you can help just to get up a reference images. So if I go to images, I mean, I know what a dog looks like, but sometimes it just helps to see dogs. All right, so these are all front-facing. This is a good representation. So obviously the tail would probably be the easiest thing to work with, because I don't want to necessarily get into trying to depict specific features of a dog. I mean, you have the ears, okay. I don't want to try to get a silhouette because that would just be lame. So thinking of this, I'm going to work with the lowercase d, I believe. All right, get this thing nice and big. All right, so I'm going to try something. We'll see how this works out just with the pen tool. And I may have to tinker with it quite a bit in order for it to work. So when you drag these Bezier handles here, you can just hold Alt and left click. All right, I'm going to escape. I'm going to take this, get rid of the fill, give it a stroke, all right, and increase the size substantially. You can already tell it's not very smooth. It's something that would need to be worked with. Let's see here. We'll go ahead and change to this variable width profile where it gets smaller. One thing that might help, of course, I can use the add anchor point tool real quick, perhaps right around here, to add an anchor point, and then take this, the direct selection tool, and delete that one. All right, and we'll go back here. I'm going to hit Control H to get rid of the outline there. Yeah, it's going to be like 28.5 or so, based on the current size of the font, to get these matching up just initially here. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm not sure if I'm too satisfied with that, but we'll see for a second. I want to smooth out this tail, make it a little bit more, just make it flow a little bit better. So you just take the direct selection tool, modify that just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and add in with the pen tool. An area just right around here, maybe coming up about this much. And down. Okay. And then maybe try to add some sense of motion, because when you think of a dog's tail, you think of it wagging all over the place. So how about I do that? So I'm just creating a single, very slight Bezier curve here. And we're going to make the stroke here black. Variable width profile 1. So it goes thin to thick to thin. Maybe move it in just a little bit closer. Copy that, Control-C, Control-F. And scale this one down. Maybe right around there. So now it feels like a dog tail much more just by adding these two lines, just to symbolize motion in a sense. So I'm going to move this one over here. And I'm going to experiment with another idea real quickly. I'll go ahead and take the pen tool real quick and just block out this area. All right. Go ahead and I'll make it simple. I know I'm thinking of adding like a paw print here. That might be too much though, but I just want to do it anyways just to see. Oh, my mouse is about to die. That's nice. All right, so we'll go ahead and add some ovals for paw prints. You know what? I want to make sure I get this right. Dog paw print. Yeah, they're really not a whole oval like I was thinking. I want to make that a little bit better. Make it black for now. And all right, so what can I do? I just take this middle bottom anchor point. Well, there we go. That was pretty simple. All right. So take that back, move this, or rotate it rather. Get a reference image. There's four right here. And that is my cell phone. All right. Yeah, not very much quality control happening over here right now. My wife just texted me. All right, let's move this over here. These ones are usually larger. Move over there. I'll just take this one. I'm pretty certain that's going to be way too much. I mean, when you add all these shapes, then you create kind of issues of clutter, because we have this here, we have this here, we have this long tail. This is too much. I still wanted to see what it looked like. Now, let's go ahead and just remove these things. Well, it doesn't become too bad at that point. It's certainly not as bad as what it was with the tail added. I'm not sure what happened there. Let me scale that up again. Actually, just like that, that would be more ideal, though not quite as unique. So yeah, I'll take this one and just scrap it. We'll move this one back. Now, let's say, for example, see, in my opinion, I like this pretty much as is. I wouldn't want to go further with this. Otherwise, you're just going to get too complex. So remember, you know, when you guys are submitting, for example, the design challenges that we have at designcourse.com, don't try to go too elaborate, you know, like I did over here, because we ended up just being too much. So you take, you know, when it comes to coming up with logo design concepts, you take a single idea, some element or some aspect that relates to the purpose of the business or whatever it is you're trying to do, and you integrate it into the the letter form or the icon or whatever you're working with, and stick with that. Don't try to add too many things. So let's say, for example, just for the heck of it, it's only been 10 minutes, you wanted to use this. Maybe you wanted to get it printed or something. Well, you can't leave your text layer here. You need to make sure everything's flattened, and the paths, well, the paths don't have to be converted to outlines, but I kind of like doing that sometimes, just because if another designer messes with it and they scale it, the paths could become screwed up. So what I do is just take everything, hit Control Shift and O, so that converted this right here to an outline, with a path rather, and then we want to basically take everything and combine them. So I'm going to take these strokes right here, go to Object, Path, and Outline Stroke, and then I want to take everything, with exception to this little, the white portion where the tail's cutting into the letter, and go ahead to the window in Pathfinder and merge them all. And I got Facebook up. Man, this is just terrible. I should have checked that stuff before I started. And then finally take this little white path here, and hold Shift and select this one, and then just specify minus front. Oops. I'm going to ungroup that first. Just select this, minus front. Then you can take everything and combine them to a single shape, like that. And that is it. And the reason you would want to do this is because you don't want a white path sitting there. That way, if you have a background or something, it's going to look messed up. But yeah, that is it. You know, just thinking of things off the top of my head, you know, it's not too bad of an attempt. It's a little bit separated a little bit. And ideally, it would be a little bit more condensed. But yeah, that's my attempt. So hopefully you guys took something from this. If you want to see more of these videos, let me know. They obviously don't take very long. But yeah, so check out designcourse.com. Subscribe here on YouTube if you haven't yet, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.